the inside information I got here in regards to, for example, the United States Bitcoin Reserve, this guy was actually sharing that he is working together with...
2025 just started and Wall Street is already manipulating Bitcoin's price. Bitcoin is being held down like a beach ball in the ocean right now, and over the next 9 minutes, I'm going to prove that to you. Take 2 seconds, smash the like button because we need more people seeing this video before it's too late. This might be your last chance ever to buy Bitcoin under 100K. Question for you. Do you think Wall Street manipulates markets? If you had to guess, do you think Wall Street manipulates markets? Well, what I'm about to show you in this video might really surprise you.
And that would put United States as the biggest buyer in history.
Let's talk about what's really going on here. And first, let's actually gain some perspective on this. Because just like we all wish we could get sub 60K prices back, one day soon, we're all going to wish we could get sub 100K prices back. Buying Bitcoin below 100K will be a flex years to come. I truly believe this. But the mainstream media right now would love nothing more than to make you think prices right now are not a buying opportunity. And yet, if you look around and see what's actually going on, you will see that things are not quite as they'd like to appear. Like, we're seeing Michael Saylor taking meetings with the Trump family more regularly now more than ever. Because you subscribe to Altcoin Daily, you know, and this is something a lot of people don't know, you know that the Trumps have known Saylor for 20 plus years.
You know, I've known Michael Saylor for 20 years. I mean, and by the way, if you want to talk about a great champion for this industry, it's Michael Saylor. That guy deserves all the credit in the world. There's very few people who are smarter, and there are very few people who are better cheerleaders for an industry that clearly he believes in. He's a national treasure to the United States, and frankly, he's a national treasure to this world.
This photo was actually taken around the same time as this photo when we met Saylor. I'll tell you why that's relevant in just a second. The point is, because of this and so much more, we strongly suspect that the US Bitcoin stockpile is weeks away. The stockpile idea, of course, is the idea that the US takes the Bitcoin that they already have confiscated and decides to safeguard it and not sell it, which would be a huge step for the US to take. But Wall Street doesn't want you to know that. Wall Street is trying to scare you away from Bitcoin right now. BlackRock's Bitcoin ETF just saw huge outflows. Everybody's reporting on this. This is getting major press, almost putting a chilling effect on the crypto market. Yet, most people don't report that the general trend for ETF inflow outflows is extremely bullish. So this might be organic, something that just happens near the end of the year, or this might be Larry Fink putting his fingers on the scale, pulling some strings to get headlines exactly like this. Why else do I say that Wall Street might be manipulating the markets? Well, Jim Cramer is getting very vocal about Bitcoin lately, calling for lower prices. Like, Trump directly told him what's going on.
Your embracing of crypto, very different from the previous administration. Strategic Petroleum Reserve like for crypto?
Yeah, I think so. We're going to do something great with crypto.
Yet, listen to this clip now. Do you believe he's being genuine?
One of my favorite companies is BlackRock, and they have an ETF for Bitcoin. They're showing declines, $330 million in Bitcoin pulled out yesterday in Bitcoin. 3 consecutive days of decline. That is atypical, and I think that I like Bitcoin, and I think people should watch it, and maybe if they haven't bought it yet, they're going to get a chance. There you go.
Do you think it's cooled off enough?
No, I think it can go down a little more. 90 is the next.
$96,808?
I think 90,000 is the next level.
Jim Cramer, of course, is often known for his bad calls and being on Team Wall Street rather than Team Regular Guy. He has been caught on video before admitting that they all manipulate the market behind the scenes, and he works with them sometimes. This was recorded during the early internet days, a time before people realized that what you say on video can be saved and shared forever. Like, I've shared this video with a lot of my friends because I feel like they're trying to scrub it from the internet. Can you believe this?
You would hit this guy and that guy when you would see an offering. When you see a guy who's bidding, you'd wipe out that guy very quickly. And what I used to do was called, if I wanted to go higher, I would take and bid, take and bid, take and bid. And if I wanted to go lower, I'd hit an offer, hit an offer, hit an offer. And I could get a stock like RIM for maybe, that might cost me 15, 20 million. ante to knock RIM down. But it would be fabulous because it would beleaguer all the moron longs who are also keying on research in motion. So we're seeing today with RIM. We're seeing that. That's, again, when your company's in a survival mode, it's really important to defeat research in motion and get the Pisanis of the world and the people talking about it as if there's something wrong with RIM. Then you would call the journal and you get the bozo reporter on research in motion and you would feed that there's a Palm's got a killer it's going to give away. These are all the things you must do on a day like today. And if you're not doing it, maybe you shouldn't be in the game. Okay.
But the thing is, I think Bitcoin's bull case this year can actually be greater than just a Bitcoin stockpile. There's a real possibility that Trump implements not just a stockpile, but he goes much further with a strategic Bitcoin reserve where the US starts the process of buying 1 million Bitcoin over the next 5 years. Reminder, this is what the US Bitcoin Reserve Bill, spearheaded by Cynthia Lummis, would mean for Bitcoin and the US. This scenario is looking more and more likely every day.
The other thing is the proposal that I have and that President Trump has discussed about a strategic Bitcoin reserve where the United States would acquire and hold Bitcoin for 20 years. Because of the way that Bitcoin has been appreciating since inception, this would be an asset that could help shore up the US dollar as the world reserve currency and serve as a reserve that could be used to reduce the national debt significantly. The American people are still hurting from inflation, from high prices, and they want the national debt reduced. These are ways to do it with an asset that is immutable, can easily be held by the federal government in a variety of vaults, and that states can participate in as well. So this is the gold standard digital asset, and a strategic Bitcoin reserve is the way to embed it.
We got off the gold standard a long time ago. My question is how much you would spend tax dollars at a time when we're talking about trying to reduce costs. How much would you spend on Bitcoin as part of this reserve?
We wouldn't have to spend any new dollars. We have reserves at our 12 Federal Reserve banks, including gold certificates that could be converted to current fair market value. They're held at their 1970s value on the books, and then sell them into Bitcoin. That way, we wouldn't have to use any new dollars in order to establish this reserve. The United States already holds over 200,000 Bitcoin in the asset forfeiture funds. So that would be the initial source of Bitcoin. So no new money spent on this reserve.
So why am I getting even more bullish that not just a stockpile, but a U.S. Bitcoin strategic reserve could actually happen?
Who knows, maybe we'll pay off our $35 trillion, hand them a little crypto check, right? We'll hand them a little Bitcoin and wipe out our $35 trillion.
But how do you look at what's going on? Open your eyes. Let's go back to this picture. We were actually at Michael Saylor's 100K New Year's Eve party. He had a lot of high-up, powerful people at this party. We were lucky to be invited. There were a lot of elites and people in the know at this party, a lot of higher-ups in the know, and many, if you engaged them in conversation, were speaking like they already knew a Bitcoin strategic reserve was about to happen. It's really interesting, the conversations you hear when you're around the right people. Like, for instance, let's tune into this clip. Analyst Crypto actually shares his story with me about he just talked to an insider about the Bitcoin strategic reserve, and they conveyed to him just that it will 100% happen. Listen to this, my friends.
This property is amazing, but more importantly, the guests are amazing. The inside information I got here in regards to, for example, the United States Bitcoin Reserve, this guy was actually sharing that he is working together with, and I checked this guy, with the United States government to actually pave the way to get a Bitcoin United Reserve, right? And that would put United States as the biggest buyer, potential buyer in history, because they are sitting on the printing machine.
You think it's going to happen?
I know it's going to happen. I just talked about it.
But how do they know it's going to happen?
Well, he works with Donald Trump.
Holy shit, guys.
Somebody says, not happening, pal. They're responding.
Everybody gets Bitcoin at the price they deserve. No, it's good to be skeptical. I want to see it happen. It looks like it's going to happen. Let's see, guys. Let's see. That's where the opportunity is, right?
Absolutely. I'm excited, man. This is amazing.
You need to look in the right places so you're not fooled by the most mainstream of the mainstream media. The biggest asset managers in the world right now are preparing for what's about to happen. You know, BlackRock is telling their shareholders and investors 2% allocation should be your starting point. And this is a huge change from what BlackRock used to say, of course. I mean, this is huge. 2% starting point is what BlackRock is recommending. And yet, what most people in the mainstream media have been told to report on is stuff like this. Wake up. Open your eyes. We try to share with you information like this on a daily basis. If you're interested in making money, subscribe to Altcoin Daily for daily videos keeping you informed on the market. Some of you have been with us for a while. We've seen manipulation like this before. I know a lot of you who've been with us for a while are actually doing quite well in crypto. I believe 2025 will be our best year yet, but you need to stick with it. Double down. This is the year where the biggest gains will be made, in my opinion. Of course, anything can happen, not financial advice. My name is Aaron, Altcoin Daily. See you tomorrow, my friends.